How's it going, guys? My name is Kinda Vibrant, or Damon, and today I am finally back with a new YouTube video. I know it's been a while, but I'm officially back today, and as you can see, we're here on Madden 20, what I'm hoping will be the first in a series of Madden rebuild videos. That is why today we're here with our first rebuild in the newest edition of Madden, Madden 20, and right off the rip, I'm going to tell you guys that I'm not sure how this is going to go, but that's alright, it's a learning experience, and all I know is I'm trying to have some fun and build a team good enough to hoist the Lombardi Trophy. So without further ado, let's see the team that I picked for episode 1 of this series. The Buffalo Bills. Yeah, so I chose the Bills. Not the worst team in the league, but definitely a team that's looking for an identity moving forward. It's an intriguing team, and one that, if I remember correctly, was actually pretty fun to rebuild in last year's game. So the gist of this series is I'm going to try and be as realistic as possible, while also doing what I can, obviously, to make a winning team. That means no cheesing, the garbage trade AI, I'm not going to stock up on first round picks, and I'm not going to trade dirty napkins and a pair of bum sons for a 97 overall star. That being said, I'm not saying trades aren't going to happen, period, just that I'm going to keep them as grounded in reality as possible. Now, for this rebuild, I'm going to give myself 5 years to win a Super Bowl. I know that's the same time span that guys like C4 use. Shout out Papa C4. But I think for now, it'll provide us with a decent window to flex our team building muscles. If 5 years is too long for this video, next time out, I can always try 3 years. It's not a huge deal. So with that out of the way, let's take a look at our current roster. So, like I said, it's not a terrible roster, all things considered. And we do have Micah Hyde. He is 28 years old, which is not terrible. He should stay at or around this overall for a few years. We're likely going to need to find a replacement before long, but that being said, he's okay for where he is now. Tre'Davious Whtie is a guy that I'm very excited for moving forward. He definitely will be the star of our secondary for likely the entire rebuild. We move down, we got Cole Beasley, who had a decent bounce back year last year in Dallas, but he's obviously not going to be in our long-term plans. Same for all, this conglomeration of
came out terrible.
Hughes and Alexander, I'm definitely not going to be. They'll be probably done after this year, especially Alexander. I'd be surprised if he doesn't retire. But for our running backs, we have LaShawn McCoy and Frank Gore, who, will be decent, I guess. They'll be serviceable. A solid 1-2 punch coming out of the backfield. I don't know how they perform in the sim. I honestly haven't even really paid much attention to the Bills' progression. But I'm definitely going to look to develop Devin Singletary. He's 21. His stats aren't amazing, but hopefully after these two guys are gone, him being our second back will give enough time to progress. TJ Yeldon will definitely be a solid stopgap for a couple years, I can imagine. He's always decent in this sim. I've actually seen a couple times last year and the year before where he got 1,200 yards as a starter, roughly, so not terrible. Josh Allen, definitely going to be our quarterback for the majority of our rebuild, if not the entire rebuild. So often I see the AI draft or sign or trade for a replacement after only 1 or 2 seasons, which, isn't wholly unrealistic, but unless he has like an utter garbage stretch of a season or 2, he'll definitely be in a prominent position for our offense. The same can be said for Zay Jones, who doesn't always progress at a high rate or a fast rate, doesn't always reach, a high overall, but he, from what I've seen and when the Bills actually let him go in free agency, he's always a decent receiver, so I'm pretty excited for him moving forward. The same with guys like David Sills and Ray McLeod. I don't know how long it'll take for them to progress, and even if I'll give them the time, but with guys like Beasley, we got John Brown, they should, same with Isaiah McKenzie, they should be able to fight for a roster spot within the next couple of seasons. As for our offensive line, for tight ends first, Tyler Croft and Dawson Knox will probably be our featured tight ends for mostly this entire rebuild. Dawson, from what I've seen in the few franchises I've done, he progresses pretty decently. Jason Kroom also isn't terrible from what I've seen in Madden Sim. Offensive line, Dawkins, Spain, and Morse will all be probably staying on our line for this entire rebuild. I imagine they'll they'll continue being decent enough to hold down their starting spots. Where we look at question marks is obviously the right side of the line. Not great, especially with his age. And then 70 overall with the new ratings curve isn't terrible. And he's only 24, so he does have the potential to progress, especially being a scheme fit. I'm going to weigh our options moving forward, but for now, Teller will likely be our starter. And then defensively, like I said, Shaq Lawson is a guy that could definitely progress decent enough for this rebuild. I'm also excited for the future of guys like Tremaine Edmonds and Matt Milano. Matt Milano at 25 is a little older than what I like for only a guy that's going into his third year, but that's okay. He's a scheme fit. He should be okay. To a lesser extent, I'm also excited for Levi Wallace and Taron Johnson, though with them not being scheme fits, I don't know how well they'll progress in our system. Hopefully good enough, considering they'll be getting a lot of snaps at their depth chart positions. But the guy obviously I'm most excited for is going to be Ed Oliver Jr. I mean, he was the 9th pick in the draft for a reason. He's going to be the star of this team, not just the defense, but of this team. To a lesser extent, we have Harrison Phillips, who, again, should progress just fine. Starla Tulele, he's making a lot of money for a guy that won't contribute too much, but, you know, I guess it's okay. So as I said, there's definitely a lot of positives on this team, a lot more than you would think, but again, it all depends on how guys progress, and we already have player development. This is just the... Never mind. So yeah, clearly we have a few positions that we have to shore up and get better at as soon as possible, and positions like safety and, you know, edge rushers, we definitely have to address in the near future, but honestly, we're not in a terrible position on paper. How we'll perform in the sim and in real life definitely remains to be seen. But with that being said, I'm actually pretty content with the roster heading into year one as is. I don't think there are many free agents I really want to sign. I really am intrigued by guys like Cam Meredith, though, and Des Bryant. I really want to try to develop our younger guys, so I'm going to let them... They'll be in the free agency. So we're going to get right into it. I am going to start simming. I'm going to sim to our final 53-man roster, and then I'll catch you guys there. Real quick, I just wanted to come back and show you guys that we're actually getting a moment with Wyatt Teller, so I definitely think this will help him a lot. As I said, he's on the edge of being a guy that we keep for the rebuild and being one that we look to move on from. But with something like this, I definitely think it'll help him a lot. So yeah, I just want to show you guys that. So we're checking in. Looks like Teller actually had a decent game, so gives him awareness and puts him in a good position. We also have Cole Beasley coming to us, and we get the Zay Jones development. Okay, let's... Oh, I accidentally clicked that. So I didn't get to actually choose what I wanted to do because I pressed A too fast. But again, like I said, Zay Jones is always one of those fringe players who sometimes progresses, sometimes doesn't. So it's nice to see him getting some attribute boost there from Cole Beasley. As you can see, we're 1-1. Not doing too hot. I'll just sim to the cut day, and we'll go through this together to show up our roster for year one. Now, the only real big move that I'm looking at outside of some of the moves I already made, I really like Tyree Jackson's potential, given his height and his speed and his size, but playing-wise, playing with him, honestly, I picked him up in one of my other franchises that I've done. He doesn't play the best base overall. His throwing accuracy is pretty terrible. And I don't want to cut Matt Barkley, honestly. I thought about it. We do save over $1 million in cap. But really what I'm going to look at is I'm going to move Tyree to the practice squad. I realize that means that he might get signed, which isn't great, but we don't really need to develop two quarterbacks at once, especially with Allen having star dev. So yeah, I'm going to move Tyree because I need to make one spot and I don't want to cut anyone else. I'm going to move Tyree to the practice squad. Might be a questionable move, but I'm happy with it. So we'll reorder the depth chart. Our final roster heading into year one is going to look a little something like this. I know I have a lot of upgrades to do. I'll focus on that later. Obviously, we got Allen, Beasley. We got a lot of normal dev traits. That is unfortunate. I'm hoping we get some, mid-season conversations to get some of those dev traits up. That being said, not a terrible offense. Definitely, with Teller, he's going to progress. We also have Ford as well, who I completely forgot about, out of Oklahoma. That's my bad. So I definitely do think we have our line of the rest of the rebuild here. Just hopefully we can progress Teller and Ford. Obviously, like I said, tight ends are looking solid. Defensively, we're looking good. Nothing really to complain about. Gonna try to continue building around our young talent. Ed Oliver, I don't know what his hidden dev trait is. I imagine it's star at least. But anyway, so yep, that's the team. And I will catch you guys at the midseason. Probably not going to make many trades, if any at all. But we'll check back in at week 8. So we are here at week 8. As you can see, we're 2-4. We started the season off with 2 big wins over the Jets and the Bengals, and I thought, hey, this is actually a team that may make the playoffs. Now we're trending downward. A real quick look at our stats, and you can kind of see why. We are the 31st ranked offense in the league, which is pretty terrible. Now, I did change the scheme. I believe it was like a multiple power run or something like that. And I changed it to fit Josh Allen more. I don't know what to do. Maybe it just doesn't fit him. I'll take a look at that in the offseason and see, look at maybe a different scheme to get him some better stats. He's not, in a vacuum, he's not playing terrible. I would definitely want to see that completion percentage rise by a decent chunk. But 9 touchdowns to 3 picks isn't awful. Our run game is less than ideal. And receiving, obviously, with Allen having low numbers, we're definitely going to have low numbers from our receivers as well. Now, looking at contract negotiations, as I said, I'm not going to bring back these guys, our old dogs. McCoy, I will wait on McCoy. If he only drops to like a 79 and maybe wants less money at the end of the season, I'll think about it, but I'm not going to offer him that chunk of money just to give me a garbage season. I'm definitely going to look to re-sign Lawson. Not somebody I really want to lose. He's going to sign for the base. That's not bad. Spain, Hauschka, Wallace, all guys I'm definitely going to try to re-up. But other than that, we're not looking terrible. Definitely know what I need to look at. One last thing I forgot to mention as well is for the rookies, I'm not using a draft class. I'm actually just using the base rosters. I don't know if in the future I'll move to using draft classes. I might use the franchise guys. But personally, I just like having, not real players. I like creating stories for them and seeing how their, careers progress. So for that reason, for the first few rebuilds, I'm just going to use generated rookies. As you can see, I'm addressing some of the positions we may need to look at. Anyway, so we're 2-4 at the break. Not going to make any trades. I showed you guys the people that I'm likely going to move on from, so I will catch you guys at the end of the season. So, at the end of year 1, we did not have a great season. Wasn't really expected to have a great season. The first thing that's going to poke out in your eyes is 13-3 for the Jets. 13-3. I believe that was the 3rd best record in the entire league. 4th best. 4th best record in the league for the Jets. Now, listen, I'm a Jets fan. I'm very excited for this upcoming season. We have some great acquisitions. No way in hell we're going 13-3. Anyway, we did finish with the 7th worst record in the league, which will give us a very nice pick. And there are actually a few studs, I will say, that I've been scouting, and I'm pretty excited to hopefully draft. It was a very, very bad season. I haven't taken a look at our stats yet, but I know, we finished dead last for offensive yards. Josh Allen finished almost dead last. Our defensive yards took a nosedive the second half of the season. I believe we were like 18th in the first half, which isn't terrible. Definitely not what we wanted, considering that's supposed to be our strong suit. So we look at the stats. It wasn't a terrible year though from Josh Allen. 25-7, definitely not bad. I don't remember what he finished with last year. I don't remember. He's got 2 skill points, so he's going to be going into season 2 with a 78 overall, which is very solid. Definitely a lot higher than I honestly would have thought. What did he finish with last year? I'm just curious. I don't remember off the top of my head. I just want to see how much of an improvement this season was for him. And yeah, it definitely was. He made a huge jump. So not upset about that one bit. I know he was injured a bit last year as well. Rushing, we got decent touchdown numbers, but outside of that, it was not ideal. I know 1,000-yard rushers are a little easier to come by this Madden I've seen compared to last year, but still, I did expect a little bit more out of Whtie. Frank Gore, solid season. He had a game where he had 3 touchdowns that I checked the box score of, so that's just nuts. Okay, so we did not have Singletary or Yeldon touch the ball once this year. That's interesting. Cole Beasley, again, had a very solid season. I did like that stat line of his. He will regress a little bit, I'm sure. Outside of that, John Brown had another okay year. Tyler Kroft, would like to see his numbers go up a little bit, but from the sample size, that's not terrible. Zay Jones, he did have one of those conversations. Did not get the depth rate increase, unfortunately, but he's still progressing at an okay rate. I want to see more touches going around, though. Defensively, Tremaine Edmonds had a fantastic year. 3.5 sacks from the middle linebacker position, not bad. 1 pick, pretty okay, but 129 tackles. If that doesn't have him in the running for any defensive awards, I will be surprised. Decent sack numbers, all told. Would like to see a double-digit sack getter next season at an edge rushing position, but the sample size not bad. Ed Oliver didn't have a terrible year either. Let's look at picks. A lot of ones. Okay. Again, I want to see more picks, but other than that, I mean, yeah, it's not too great. Only got one each from our cornerbacks that we looked to build on, so not terrible. We'll look at the awards. MVP goes to Phillip Rivers. Obviously not going to have anyone here. Kareem Hunt, interesting to see there. Coach of the Year, going to go to Griffin Murphy. 14-2 is crazy. I really would like to see Adam Gase win it, but nevertheless, not going to have anyone here. Defensive Player of the Year. Tremaine Edmonds, again, he wasn't. I'll take 7th spot for a team that went 5-11. Not bad. Offensive Rookie, not going to have anyone. Defensive Rookie, Ed Oliver. Yep, that's great. Levi Wallace, okay, not really rookie, but anyway. Ed Oliver winning that is going to be huge. I wonder if he'll get a Superstar X Factor, to be honest. And the rest of the awards I don't really care about. So, again, all told, not a terrible season for sure. A lot to build on. Would like to see a higher win total, but we're a young team. Yeah, so a very great year from Ed Oliver. You love to see it. So I'm going to do all of these myself. We'll stop at the Super Bowl to see who makes it. Yeah, so 5-11. Not a terrible record. I think it was a step. We did go 6-10 last year, and with all these free agent acquisitions, I wanted to get at least 7 wins out of it. But because there's some decent rookies coming into this draft, I'm not too upset with it. Hopefully for year 2, we'll reload, get a little bit better, and yeah, I'll see you guys at the. So here we are at the Super Bowl. We have the Packers versus the Chargers. Definitely an interesting matchup, to say the least. So yeah, we're going to go to the offseason, the re-sign period. I believe I re-signed the people that I wanted to at the end of last year, but we'll just double-check real fast. And the Packers beat the Chargers in the Super Bowl. Yeah, so he dropped to a 76, so you can forget that. Kroom, I'm going to let walk. Don't really want to pay him that much just for a third option tight end. Yeah, so that's going to do it. Let's head to free agency real quick and see what we can do for big signings. So for free agency, again, as I stated at the beginning of the video, I am trying to keep this as realistic as possible. I don't know how likely it would be for Kareem Hunt to hit the market without, Cleveland offering him a sheet or whatever, and nobody else is offering him a contract, so I'm going to try to bring him in. I know I did say that I wanted to develop Devin Singletary, and while that's still a possibility with TJ Yeldon getting a little bit higher in age, Kareem Hunt should hopefully solve our running back woes. I'm also going to try to bring in Yannick Ngakoue. I don't necessarily need him because there are a couple right end rookies that are coming into the draft that I am very high on. So if he doesn't accept this offer, it is what it is. I would like to bring him in because he is an absolute stud in the sim. Outside of that, I am looking to bring in Dylan Cole. I'm actually going to move him to outside linebacker because I don't have one right now. we let I think it was Lorenzo Alexander. He retired, I believe. Devondre Campbell is interesting, and there are a couple more guys down here that are interesting, but none of them are scheme fits, one. And two, again, just like right end, there are a couple prospects that I'm heavily looking at. So even if, I don't know how well Dylan Cole will transition to right outside linebacker, he is pass coverage, so I imagine he'll still be a scheme fit. Regardless, that's what I'm looking at for at least this first crop of guys. We are back, and for our first trade of the rebuild, we're actually going to move Trent Murphy to the Falcons for a third-round pick. Like I said, we have Shaq Lawson at left end, and I'm looking at ends as a big need in the draft. So moving him for a third-round pick isn't too bad. I am going to keep on the books, because of his contract, Jerry Hughes. If I cut him, I'm going to be losing money, take a big hit, and I don't really need to. He's still an 80 overall, so it's not like he can't contribute. And like I said, I am looking at end, so if I do draft his successor, I can always move him to the bench and move on from him next year. And as you can see, we just signed a lot of depth for the free agency. Outside of Kareem Hunt being our big acquisition, a lot of depth. So we're going to head into the draft, and I will see you guys there. So I'm actually really torn here at pick number 7. Originally, I was looking at Niles Washington, but Combine didn't perform the best. Then I also thought about Harvey McCarthy, but I do have decent depth at cornerback. I don't know how well he would fit. We have like 3 or 4 74, 75s. Granted, I could draft him. He might have a star dev, which would help out a lot, and he would progress pretty fast. I'm torn between those two guys, but then there's also... In the second round, we're going to have, I believe it was Robert Sally. He's a first-round talent, and his combine was way higher. His tackle was only a C+, so I don't know if his overall would be as high. And then my fourth option, which is the one I think I'm going to go with. I don't know why. His combine just really jumps out at me, a 4.330. Like, Jameson Britton just looks like an absolute stud. Not that we really need a receiver, but I always could move on from Cole Beasley if I wanted to. Britton and Zay Jones could be just what Josh Allen needs to take that next step. So yeah, I think I'm going to go with Britton. We'll see what we get with him. And we got a hidden dev trait, 76 overall, number 4 in true talent. I like that. That's a huge dub. Yeah, so I'm very excited about that. Like I said, not the position we needed the most, but... For now, it'll work. So it looks like Sally is still here. And I think that's who I'm going to go with. I'm going to go Sally. And yikes. So 70 overall. Really was hoping he would be higher and at least have a hidden dev trait. But alas, hopefully a year on the bench will do him good. So Mr. McDermott is walking around the office on the phone, talking to all of his scouts and thanking them for doing such a great job with this draft. Now, I know I missed on the right end in the second round. Didn't really miss. I mean, just 70 overall. That's pretty good for second round talent. But the rest of the draft, I basically hit it out of the park. I think these last 3 guys were undrafted, projected to go undrafted. This one has a hidden dev trait. Not really a scheme fit, so it may take him a little bit longer to develop. But we also got Carson Jarrett, who also isn't a scheme fit. And then we also have Warren Murray, who is just, again, depth. A lot of these guys were depth. So yeah, a very solid draft. Really the star of the draft was going to be Jameson Britton. I'm excited to see what he has. Definitely a solid year 1 draft class. And hopefully, with the signing of Kareem Hunt, it is enough to get us over the hump and at least contend in the AFC East. Brady did retire. And the Jets just look unreal. So it's going to be fun. All right, so here we are in week 1 of year 2. Went 3-1 in the preseason, so not too bad. For our goal, we are going to shoot for... We'll shoot for 7 wins. Not that it really makes a huge difference one way or the other. And we have our roster set for the most part. Not a whole lot different to last year. Obviously, the addition of Kareem Hunt is going to be huge. I'm going to have Britton coming in as our third in our depth chart for receiver. Defensively, again, looking pretty similar. We have Dylan Cole at right outside linebacker, Ed Oliver. A lot of the same faces starting. A little more depth at cornerback this year than maybe last year. I'm pretty excited. I'm expecting to at least break even this year. I at least want to see 8 wins out of this team. 77 overall. It'll be a little on the edge, I would imagine. Dolphins were pretty bad. Don't know how well they did. Patriots lose Brady. Don't know who their quarterback is now, but the Jets are definitely, the way I see it, the Jets are definitely going to be the team to beat in this division moving forward. So how we perform, we'll see. So here we are at week 8, and not doing too hot. 2-5. Now, record-wise, yes, we are 2-5. But, I mean, we're staying relatively close in games. Our issue isn't offense, as you can see. We're putting up plenty of points. Actually, I think we're top 10 in offense. But where we struggle is we are almost dead last in defensive yards, and we are dead last in yards given up. So I don't really know. Oof. My guess is it's just the Madden sim logic. You know how Madden sims are. No matter how good a team you build, it's just a coin flip. That's my guess, because it's not like this team is junk. Regardless, I'm going to keep simming. I'll catch you guys at the end of the season. So, ladies and gentlemen, week 17 against the Jets. We're about where I thought we would be, but the division is up for grabs. Now, I don't know how the tiebreaker will shake out, but if we can win this game, it'll put us in good position. Now, that Week 15 loss against the Raiders, they were a 1-win team at the time and earned their second win against us. So hopefully, I want you to hear my live, uncut reaction to whether or not we can finish 8-8 or fall to 7-9. Hooey! All right, let's go. Oh, I won't lie, I'm a little nervous. I feel like we're gonna get screwed though. It's Madden. It always screws us, you know. This is how it goes. And we win, and we are hosting a playoff game, winners of the AFC East. And we finished at 8-8, like exactly like I thought we would too. That is crazy. So let's take a quick look at how we performed stat-wise. Huge season from Josh Allen. Oh, I love to see that. 34 tutties, 9 interceptions, 4,000 yards. And he did indeed get his completion percentage up, and I love to see that. That's a great year. A ridiculous year from Kareem Hunt. That'll definitely put him in contention for Offensive Player of the Year, if not MVP. Yeldon off the bench had a very good season as well, and Singletary, not so much. Receiving, 2,000-yard receivers. That is insane. I don't see that very often in Madden, especially not for a third-year quarterback. Great season from Cole Beasley and Zay Jones. Zay Jones did actually get star dev halfway through the year, so that's a huge addition. Not to mention, though, Tyler Kroft did have another solid year. Kareem Hunt, 1,900 all-purpose yards. That's a hell of a season. Our rookie, Jameson Britton, does have star dev and did put forward a very good a very good rookie campaign. Whether he'll be in contention for Offensive Rookie of the Year, I'm not really sure. Defensively, Edmonds did take a step backwards. Ed Oliver, again, had a monster year. Got double digits. Jerry Hughes did get us there. Like I said last year, I did want to see a double-digit sack total from a player. We did get it. Ed Oliver, again, putting forward a great season. Don't know. Oh, look at that. What a year for our secondary. Matt Milano coming in. But I would like to see some more ones, I'm going to say. I did sign a lot of depth guys. I know their overalls weren't that high, but I would have liked to see more single interceptions. The only downside with Tre'Davious White is he did not want to renegotiate with us. So he will be walking into free agency unless we franchise tag him, which I am 100% going to, because even if it is more for the one season, I definitely don't want to see him walk. Our secondary definitely isn't in position yet to handle his departure. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to upgrade my players off camera, and we're going to head in and do some simming. I'm not going to play the game. I'm going to head and do some simming, and we'll see how we do year 2. First playoff berth. What would a playoff game be in Buffalo without a little bit of snow? So this is going to take a quick look at the hype up. Got the teams coming out. I don't want to show too much of this, so we'll just get right into simming, honestly. Doing 8-minute quarters. I don't know really how much I should be doing. I don't often sim games. Usually I either play them or just simulate them completely. Alright, so we get first score. Looking good. Up 14-0. You would think a team like Cincy would be used to the weather, but man, we are just jumping out to a lead here, 17-0. Oh my lord, 20-0. 20. Yeah, this is a runaway. This is a runaway. It don't matter. That's a wrap. There's nothing they can do to come back here. I may have spoken too soon. Oh my god. Come on, draw on the clock. All right, there we go. Yeah, that's game. That's game. 41-19 victory for the Buffalo Bills, year 2. I'm not going to say this is a team of destiny or nothing like that, but to be looking a huge game from Josh Allen, 300 yards, 4 touchdowns, only a single interception. That is big. Real quick, I want to see how well we performed. How well we performed on the ground. Just out of curiosity, Kareem Hunt, a very solid day. I would have thought that he would have had higher numbers given the snow, but I know Madden doesn't really take into account that in this sim. Huge day for for Cole Beasley, and Kareem Hunt and Dawson Knox got in on the action as well for touchdowns. Huge game, great game altogether. Let's see real quick who we're taking on in round 2. So in the divisional round, we are going to be traveling to Denver, Colorado to take on the Denver Broncos. I blanked there for a second. I don't know why. Let's take a look quickly at some X factors. I know we didn't last game. We don't have any, so it's not too... Josh Quincy, Chris Harris Jr., and Von Miller. But they have us beaten X factors, but we have them beaten superstars, so it's kind of a mixed bag there. 79 versus a 78 overall. I do think that Joe Flacco is still their starting quarterback, though I'm not 100% certain. So we're going to get in here and sim it up. Let's see how we do in the divisional round. So here we are, heading into Mile High Stadium. Broncos hosting Buffalo Bills, an 8-8 Buffalo Bills, a team with a lot of excitement behind it. We'll get right into the simming. I don't know if you guys want to see me show those. I don't even know if I can or not. I don't know how much I can and can't show, honestly. All right, they jump out to a 7-0 lead and a 14-0 lead and a 17. Okay, so this is very reminiscent. Oh, no, we're done. Yeah, that's game. 24-0 before halftime. Kick the field goal. But yeah, it is. Put the game on ice. It's over. Their defense is just too stout for us to do anything. And their offense is just mauling us. Oh my. This is brutal. We do get a touchdown late in the fourth quarter, but it doesn't mean anything. It's garbage time. Wow. Dude, score, keep it closer, but a 19-point loss on the road in the division round of the playoffs. I won't say I'm shocked that we lost. I will say I'm shocked that we didn't put up much of a fight until the end of the game there. For an 8-8 team, I'm happy that we just made it to the division round, the playoffs in general, but I would like to see more fight out of our players, especially in a huge game like that. I have a feeling Josh Allen didn't perform too well. Yeah. 1 touchdown to 1 pick, not too terrible. And they just completely shut down a run game. There was no run game to be had there, honestly. So, yeah, not the best of games. We do fall to the Denver Broncos on the road, but for year 3, we are looking pretty decent. A couple free agent signings I got to make. I have to hit Tre'Davious Whtie with the franchise tag. But other than that, we will have a little bit of cap space to spend, so if we can find a decent replacement for right end and shore up some other positions, we might be all right. I'm thinking year 3. I don't know if we will win the AFC East. It seemed to be a down year for the Jets, but I am a bit excited. Real quick, just want to update you guys. We actually did have 3 Pro Bowlers, too. Our rookie receiver, we had Ed Oliver starting the tackle for the Pro Bowl, and then, all right, they jump out to a 7-0 lead and a 14-0 lead and a 17. Okay, so this is very reminiscent. Oh, no, we're done. Yeah, that's game. 24-0 before halftime. Kick the field goal. But yeah, it is. Put the game on ice. It's over. Their defense is just too stout for us to do anything, and their offense is just mauling us. Oh my. This is brutal. We do get a touchdown late in the fourth quarter, but it doesn't mean anything. It's garbage time. Wow. Dude, score, keep it closer, but a 19-point loss on the road in the division round of the playoffs. I won't say I'm shocked that we lost. I will say I'm shocked that we didn't put up much of a fight until the end of the game there. For an 8-8 team, I'm happy that we just made it to the division round, the playoffs in general. But I would like to see more fight out of our players, especially in a huge game like that. I have a feeling Josh Allen didn't perform too well. Yeah. 1 touchdown to 1 pick, not too terrible. And they just completely shut down a run game. There was no run game to be had there, honestly. So, yeah, not the best of games. We do fall with the Denver Broncos on the road, but for year 3, we are looking pretty decent. A couple free agent signings I got to make. I have to hit Tre'Davious Whtie with the franchise tag. But other than that, we will have a little bit of cap space to spend. So if we can find a decent replacement for right end and shore up some other positions, we might be all right. I'm thinking year 3. I don't know if we will win the AFC East. It seemed to be a down year for the Jets, but I am a bit excited. Real quick, just want to update you guys. We actually did have 3 Pro Bowlers, too. Our rookie receiver, we had Ed Oliver starting the tackle for the Pro Bowl, and then the boy, Kareem Hunt, who had an immaculate season. But real quick, we'll take a look. Andrew Luck wins MVP. Ooh, wow, Josh Allen finished higher than Kareem Hunt. That is crazy. Coach of the Year goes to Harbaugh. Nowhere to be found for us. Offensive Player of the Year, Andrew Luck, with Josh Allen and Kareem Hunt coming 6 and 7. Defensive Player, I doubt we'll have anyone here. Nope. Offensive Rookie of the Year. Unfortunately, Jameson Britton finished 4th, which is still pretty good. And he made a Pro Bowl for special teams, so that is a huge dub for us. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Robert Saleh finished 8th. And the Rams eke it out. Sean McVay gets his first Super Bowl victory. You love to see it. I'm going to let Jordan Poyer walk. I don't have an exact replacement yet. $8 million isn't too bad. But yeah, I think I'm going to let him walk. Regardless, I'm going to... Oh, Kareem Hunt got an X Factor. Let's get it. All right, I'm going to take a look at free agency, and I'll catch you guys most likely before the draft. Damn it. All right, so our big free agent acquisition, we were looking at Richard Sherman. We offered him the most money, had the most interest, but I believe he went with the Raiders, so that's a big miss. We're going to bring in Obi Melifonwu to be our starting strong safety because we let Poyer walk, and I am looking at some prospects. Hopefully we can develop while Obi starts for us. We're going to miss out on Kelvin Beachum. Just looking for depth there. Garnett, we're good. I really wanted to bring in Sherman just to pair him and Tre'Davious Whtie together. Because we missed out on him, I don't know if I'm going to go after anyone else. Most likely not. So I think, again, we're just going to look at signing depth guys. Hopefully we don't get burned by his combine. And he has a hidden dev, 76 overall. Look at that. Number 3 pick, or number 3 in true talent. That is what we call a dub, ladies and gentlemen. So I definitely don't think it was as strong of a draft this year as it was last year. We did hit higher with Clay Jones. Decent depth for these first 4 picks. I'm very excited for Clay Jones. We'll see how he develops. And we'll take a look at our roster heading into year number 3. We're going to make the playoffs, bro. We're going all in. We didn't add many huge additions in the offseason. But I'm feeling confident in this team. Got a ton of upgrades. I'll just auto-spend these ones. I did also forget to show you guys that our boy, what was it? Ed Oliver got a Superstar X Factor, which is huge. So we are starting the rookie Clay Jones at right end. He isn't a scheme fit, but he's a 77 overall. I couldn't really justify letting him ride out on the bench. Outside of that, again, we really just signed a lot of depth guys. And offensively, this is what we're looking like. There is a bit of a battle going on here at right tackle between Cody Ford and the second-year tackle, Sylvester Williams. He does have star dev to Cody Ford's base development rate. So that's going to be something we look at moving forward. And then again, we have Kareem Hunt, followed by Devin Singletary, and then a couple other guys. And for receiver, we have Zay Jones and Jameson Britton. Those are going to be our two feature receivers for the rest of this rebuild. Obviously, Zay Jones got a superstar, which I'm very surprised about, all things considered. We're going to have to shore up the rest of the receiving core, it looks like. Shooting for the playoffs, we're a 79 overall, 83 offense, 81 defense. I've seen worse teams do more, so I'm hoping we can, again, at least win the division, if not have like a 10-win wild card berth behind either the Jets or the Patriots. Taking a quick look at negotiations, I've already re-signed Tre'Davious White, Edmonds, and what's his name? Josh Allen. So those are our big re-signings. These are still two huge decisions I have to make. I'm obviously going to re-sign Shaq Lawson. He's been pretty solid for us, but it's a big question mark whether I want to bring back Micah Hyde and Tyler Kroft. Yeah, so we're definitely going to have to think about it a little more. And offensively, we've taken another step back. That is very interesting. I surely would have thought that with our... I surely would have thought that with the emergence of Zay Jones and Jameson Britton, that we would have had a big year. And they're having decent campaigns, but outside of that, there is not much production offensively. So yeah, that's that. We're at 3-3 at the halfway mark. Definitely have some re-signing to do. Where we'll throw our money, I'm not sure. But I will catch you guys at the end of this. So it was back-to-back 8-8 campaigns for the Buffalo Bills, and unfortunately this season 8-8 was not good enough to secure us a playoff spot. Josh Allen threw a lot of picks to not as many touchdowns as he did last year. He was just shy of 4,000 passing yards, but again, his completion percentage did regress. Kareem Hunt had another very, very good season. We had 6 touchdowns from Devin Singletary. I'll take that. That's a great contribution from our team all around. Receiving, Zay Jones, another 1,000-yard campaign. Jameson Britton did take a step back himself, but Cole Beasley stepped up a little bit. Tremaine Edmonds, another fantastic campaign, 1 pick, 6 tiffles. Ed Oliver Jr., again, just a complete monster. Him and Harrison Phillips were just getting through that line of scrimmage all day long. Clay Jones had a very solid year. I would like to see more sacks from him, but when Ed Oliver is giving you 12, along with Robert Saleh giving you 9.5, really can't complain there. Shaq Lawson coming off the edge, also getting a decent sack total himself. Pick-wise, I think it was a step up. We didn't have any 4s or 3s like we did last year, but we spread it out a little bit more. Matt Milano, Tre'Davious White, and Marcus Hyde coming in big for us. I did end up re-signing Marcus Hyde. Even though he was 30 years old, I figured we couldn't get much better there. Clay Jones, I did not know that Buddy lifted like this. Look at the size of those arms, bro. I never want to question this man's dedication because you can tell he does not skip. Not only does he not skip arm day, he doesn't skip a second of arms at the gym, period. This guy is just in there supersetting everything he can. I think we're in prime position as a team, and I'm going to obviously spend those upgrade points, but we're not getting worse. We're getting better, in fact. For corners, again, I want to get that premier second corner. Levi does have star dev now, but he's getting a little up there in age, still isn't a scheme fit. So I'm hopefully going to try to pair Tre'Davious White with another stud cornerback. So real quick, we'll take a look at the yearly awards. You can see Super Bowl 56 is going to be the Falcons versus the Colts. That's a huge matchup. Gurley wins league MVP. Nobody there for us. Wait. Phillip Rivers is the quarterback of the Patriots. That's crazy. Coach of the year goes to the Chiefs head coach Mike Tomlin. Bro, what is up with this game? I love it. Offensive player of the year. Kareem Hunt does finish 4th. That's huge. Marcus Mariota wins offensive player of the year. That's big. I like to see that. I'm a big Marcus Mariota guy. He was one of my favorite players at Oregon. Nobody for defensive player of the year. That's a little crazy. Offensive rookie of the year. Not going to have anyone there. Defensive rookie, our boy Clay Jones, the jacked nightmare himself. Clay Jones wins defensive rookie of the year. Bro, he's a monster through and through. Yeah, so when we move him to right guard, he does jump up to a 77 overall. I think we're going to rock with that. We'll let Teller walk, and we will address left guard in free agency. Tight end, we're going to bring in Christopher Herndon, who is a guy, as a Jets fan, I'm obviously super fond of. We're also going to bring in Rasul Douglas for some depth. There are no like super knockout cornerbacks like I hoped there would be. I thought about Holden Hill, I don't really need another slot corner. And then for free safety, or strong safety, my apologies, Obi Melifonwu will continue to be our starting strong safety. You know what? We're going to offer him the base offer. If he accepts it, he does. If not, whatever. And as I assumed, he would reject. But I forgot to mention, we did throw Connor Williams the bag as well. He's 25 years old, and I had extra cap space, obviously, to throw him some more money, so I did. Real quickly, we are going to take a look at free agency recap. I did throw a bag to Antonio Callaway. Not that I necessarily need him, but I did have a lot of extra cap to extra money to spend, and I didn't want to let it all just go to waste. We also, like I said, brought in Connor Williams for a decent contract. He's going to be a very good addition to our offensive line. Greg Stroman, again, more of a depth addition because we couldn't get that second star cornerback that we wanted. I don't have any. All right, what we're going to do is we're just going to go with Deshaun Tandy. He didn't attend the combine, which could be a little bit concerning. But with Marcus Hyde getting up there in age and lowering a little bit in overall, this is just kind of going to be a best player available. So we went with Deshaun Tandy, and perfectly he does. Look at that. Rank number 13 true talent, and we got him at number 13. That's very solid. He does have a hidden dev trait, which is going to be amazing for us, especially where he will be sitting behind Marcus Hyde. I don't plan on trading him, at least not this season. All right. Quick note, this is Editor Damon coming in here, and I just want to apologize for calling Micah Hyde Marcus Hyde a million times. I don't know how many times I did it before, and I don't know how many more times I'm going to do it. I'm sorry. I know his name is Micah Hyde, but I just had a brain fart. All right, back to the video. All right, and as we head into our penultimate year here with the Buffalo Bills, our roster is going to be, again, a lot of the same compared to what it was last year. We did sign Justice Hill to be our third running back. Antonio Callaway is hopefully going to help get Josh Allen back to where he was a couple years ago. On defense, a lot of the same. We did bring in Greg Stroman. Tandy is someone I'm very excited about. He's going to be a 75 overall before he even takes a snap in the regular season. Again, with that hidden dev trait. Yeah. If I may even end up moving him to strong safety, we'll see as the year progresses. I wouldn't be too sad with letting Obi Melifonwu walk, or maybe we trade him for a late round pick or something just to free up a spot for Tandy. With the AFC East as hotly contested as it is, even 8-8 could make the playoffs this year, so we'll see. I'll catch you guys at Week 8. Ladies and gentlemen, here we are, Week 8, and we are sitting pretty atop the AFC East at 4-2. Very happy with what we've been doing so far. A few players have actually been progressing very well. Our receiving tandem, boy, do I tell you, I really wish I could have done more than 5 years of this, because Zay Jones and Jameson Britton are looking to be like studs. Studs, man. And Oliver, obviously, we're going to throw him the bag. Wow. So suffice to say, we not only lived up to my preseason expectations, but we exceeded them. On top of winning the AFC East, we went 12-4 and got a first-round bye, which is huge for us. And Josh Allen was the 31st in passing yards. That is crazy. Kareem Hunt, another monster year for the dude. It is thundering outside right now. I don't know if you can hear it. I'm sorry. Anyway, we'll keep going. Another big year from Zay Jones. Britton took a step forward. I believe he had less yardage and receptions last year, so he bounced back. Again, his touchdown numbers aren't really where I want them to be, and Chris Herndon didn't have the season I thought he would, but again, the passing numbers were kind of down across the board, so it's understandable. Defensively, again, Tremaine Edmonds, he actually got some competition from Obi Melifonwu for a tackles leader, though. They tied with 102. Tiffles, again, Ed Oliver is going to eat. No double-digit sack leader, though 7.5 from Clay Jones isn't too bad. We did kind of spread the wealth a little bit. And then for interceptions, we're looking at Micah Hyde leading the way, followed by Tremaine Edmonds and Obi Melifonwu. I want to see more from my corners. I didn't actually have a corner with a pick. That is unfortunate. I'm going to see who we play. I'll upgrade some players, and we will jump right into simming the game moment by moment. I'll only jump in if I need to. We're actually playing with 12-4 Ravens. Real quick, we're going to take a look at some X Factors. 83 overall versus 83 overall. That's going to be a solid matchup. Obviously, they have Lamar, Earl Thomas. They also have Marquise Talley, who must be our right end Tally's brother because they both play end. That's actually pretty funny. Then for superstars, they have Hollywood Brown, Justin Tucker, and we outweighed them with Micah Hyde, Matt Milano, Zay Jones, and Tre'Davious White. So this looks on paper to be a pretty even matchup. I know in the sim, Lamar Jackson can kind of be a monster sometimes, so we'll just see if we can have a good game compared to that blowout that we suffered last time we were in the playoffs by the Broncos. Alright, here we are loading into the game. Like I said, this is going to be... I'm pretty hyped about this, not only just because we're hosting the game, but because, like I said, we haven't been in the playoffs in a while, and we open the game with a field goal. Okay, and they immediately drive back for a touchdown. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. We punt. Oh, boy. Okay. Alright, we brought it back to a 4-point game. So we're only down by 1. They're driving, and we hold them. Alright. It's a 2-possession game, and they immediately drive for a touchdown. And immediately get the ball back and drive for another touchdown. Are you kidding? Do I play the moment? Okay. We turned it over? Are you serious? Dog, I am at a loss for words right now. It's year 4. I'm not going to play. Oh! Come on. Punch it in. Punch it in. Are you serious? We were on the goal line. I should have taken control. Oh my god. How do you not punch that in? You have a 96 overall running back. Come on. 3 picks from Josh Allen. Yeah, we deserve to lose that game when Josh Allen plays like that. And then Kareem Hunt was just MIA. That is just unfortunate, dog. Oh, that is unfortunate. Anyway, so we are 1 and done, and only our 2nd trip to the playoffs this rebuild. So I'm hoping heading into our final year, I can do enough to get us at least to a conference championship game. Like, dog, that is just crazy. I guess we can take solace in knowing that our team was a regular season. I know y'all just saw the Super Bowl matchup. Bro. The Browns versus the Redskins in the Super Bowl. What is this game? Let's take a look at yearly awards. Lamar Jackson wins MVP. And nobody for our team was there. We did finish 3rd for Coach of the Year, which is pretty nice. Offensive Player of the Year, Kareem Hunt comes in 6th. Defensive Player of the Year, nobody in the running there. Offensive Rookie, the Browns, Ravens apparently had a ton of rookies. That's absolutely insane. Defensive Rookie, we didn't have any there, and the rest of the awards mean nothing. And the Redskins actually get it done, so that's interesting. Looking at our negotiations, Mitch Morse did not regress the way I thought he would. He's actually asking for less money than he originally was, I believe, so we'll offer him a decent contract. And he's probably going to reject it. Yep, should have guessed. Dylan Cole did drop down a point or 2, but he is only asking for $5.5 million. I think I can give him that. This is the last season anyway. We'll just offer it to him straight up. If he accepts it, good. If not, then whatever. No, okay. Not going to franchise tag him. Singletary, I'm going to let walk. I may end up re-signing him. Wow. Oh my god. Tandy got an X Factor? Bro, huh? Alright, Marcus Hyde. As much as I love you, dog, we're going to trade your ass. Deshaun Tandy got an X Factor, my guy. I can't even wrap my head around that. All right. Let's take a look at free agents real quick. I'm sorry. I had to. Wow. All right. I'm gonna take a look at this myself. I'll catch you guys at the end real quick. We signed Bryce Love because really, why not? I really do like Devin Singletary, but I just want to shore up the places on our team that may be a bit leaky, if that makes sense. Our starting center is gonna be Corey Linsley. We had to unload the boat for him just to get him, but hey, we need a starting center. Then we have Joel, I'm not going to try to pronounce his name. Then we got Ian Thomas for tight end depth, Lake Edwards, and Troy Fumagalli. Again, just depth for these two. On paper, this should be a very solid team, though we've come up short when it matters most. So I'm hoping our final season will be the season in which we make it to at least the AFC Championship, to be honest. All right, and as we head into our final season with the Buffalo Bills, let's take a quick look at our lineup. We're an 83 overall, 87 offense, 85 defense, so we're pretty solid all across the board. Our starting lineups are going to look pretty similar to what they did heading into last year, though with the added addition of Bryce Love coming off the bench, Zay Jones and Jameson Britton. Great 1-2 combo for receivers, not to mention Antonio Callaway. We got Chris Herndon, Ian Thomas, as well as a very solid offensive line. Take a look at the quick defense. I still can't believe Tandy is an X factor heading into only his second year. That's absolutely nuts. Ed Oliver and Phillips up front. Solid defensive front. We also, as you can tell, I didn't mention it earlier, we also moved Marcus Hyde over to strong safety. I thought about trading him, and then I just ended up cutting Obi Melifonwu and moving Hyde over just to start. Regardless, though, I of course set my win goal to Super Bowl because why not? So here we are in Week 8, and at the halfway mark, we're sitting at 4-3, which isn't great, but at least it's not terrible either. As you can see, the AFC East is still open. It looks like it's a two-dog fight. We're not in first place, but on the bright side, at least the Jets aren't running away with it. At the trade deadline, there's really nothing else I can do that would considerably improve this team. I think I'm just going to let it ride out. If we don't make the playoffs, we don't make it. But, you know, I've built a solid team here, so I've pretty much done all I can. We are here in the final playoffs of this rebuild. We won the AFC East at 10-6. Thankfully, Kareem Hunt finished off the season 3 rushing touchdowns, receiving touchdown, and 185 all-purpose yards. What a monster. What a monster. Another solid campaign for Allen. Would like to see the completion percentage go up a little bit. And 11 touchdowns, not too bad. I want to see more yardage from it, but it is what it is. Another 1,500-yard campaign for Kareem Hunt, 13 touchdowns. Bryce Love comes right in and has about the same season that we were seeing from Devin Singletary before we let him go. No 1,000-yard receiver this year. Instead, we just spread the love between Zay Jones, Antonio Callaway, Jameson Britton, and Chris Herndon. It is what it is. Matt Milano takes the crown. I think it's the first time in this rebuild that Tremaine Edmonds did not have the most tackles on our team. Very good year for Milano. 5 sacks, 10 tackles for loss. Clay Jones, the myth, the legend, the size of this guy's arms still baffle me. This guy is a monster. Absolute monster. He had 18 tackles for loss to go with 14 sacks. Did he make a Pro Bowl? I sure hope he did. He did. All right, made his first Pro Bowl. What a guy. He definitely was the anchor of the defense in this season, no doubt. Absolutely nuts. And Micah Hyde just goes off from the strong safety position. And like I said last year, I wanted to see our cornerbacks get some picks considering we had none. So Levi Wallace and Tre'Davious White put the team on their back. 8 picks between the two of them. Tre'Davious White gets his first Pro Bowl appearance. Levi Wallace does not make the Pro Bowl, but that's okay. That's okay. We are going to go into this game. This is the revenge game for us, actually. Let's progress some players real quick. The last time we played the Broncos in the playoffs, you guys know how it went. I'm going to leave it up to the sim, though I will jump in if I need to. There are 75 overall. There's no reason we should lose this game, man.
A few moments later.
Bye.
Yeah, that's it. Well, the first rebuild did not go to the way I wanted it to, honestly, and my terrible playing threw the game away. Well, did not end with the Bills ending their Lombardi drought. 54 completion percentage, not great from Josh Allen. But this was a team that should have done it, man. Like, there's no reason this team should not have won a Super Bowl, or at least gotten to a conference championship, though maybe if I let the sim handle it instead of me playing, we might have had something. Anyway, it was definitely a very fun rebuild. I had a lot of fun. We built a very solid team, I thought, but with Madden, even last year before the ratings curve, it's really hard after the first couple of years to build a very great team because every team progresses so fast that every team is at least good. There's no real great teams, so we had some solid production all around. I have no doubt that within another year or two of this rebuild, we definitely could have gotten a Lombardi, and we probably would have at least tied the game if had I not made terrible read, but that's beside the point. Ultimately, that's going to be it for today's video. It was a bit on the long side, definitely a lot longer than I wanted it to be. In the future, I am certainly going to try to cut down on the length, but if you did enjoy the video, I would greatly appreciate a like, as well as leaving any comments that you have, whether it be ideas for future rebuilds or if you have some constructive criticism. All of it will be greatly appreciated and held in high regard, so I look forward to seeing what you have to say. Above all else though, if you do want to subscribe, that would mean the world to me. By no means are you inclined to do so, but that would go above and beyond, showing me that this is something that you guys want to see me continue doing. So in the end, this was a fun video. I hope you guys had as much fun as I did. My name is Kinda Vibrant, or Damon, and I will see you in the next video. See ya.